Managing an organization as large and complex as the FBI requires a definitive idea of where we are now and where we hope to be in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. That's where our strategy comes in. The FBI strategy enables bureau leaders and managers to define and pursue objectives crucial to mission success, prioritize resources to achieve those objectives, track progress along the way, address gaps when identified, and, most importantly, deliver consistent results. The FBI strategy is periodically reviewed and adapted to align with the changing threat landscape and organizational climate.
December 15, 2023. The FBI is offering up to $5 million for help capturing or convicting Wilver Villegas Palomino, the first fugitive from the Houston office added to the Bureau's FBI's top 10 most wanted list since the railroad killer in 1999. Villegas Palomino's charges include narcoterrorism. At least 80% of the cocaine on American streets comes largely from his labs in Colombia, according to the FBI. We use our top intelligence aspects to pinpoint locations of possibilities of where he might be, and we are going to work strongly with our partners to target those areas, FBI Supervisory Special Agent Nick Zarro said. Zarro's elite, Houston-based team includes 20 FBI, Drug Enforcement Administration, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives agents, U.S. Marshals, and others. It was kind of perfect timing that we had the ability to go into the depths of Colombia and find not only the location of cocaine but where it's produced and how it's produced, Zarro said. Years of work led to the National Liberation Army leader nicknamed Carlos El Puerco and his associates, one of whom was recently extradited to the U.S. to face charges. It's a first in the narcoterrorism group's 60-year history. If we can take them all the way to the person responsible for producing the actual narcotic, we are going to target that person, Zarro said. The DEA provides their expertise, ATF is providing theirs for weapons, the Marshals are there for extradition support, and we're here for the great intelligence piece. The elite team targets the world's most dangerous criminals and their networks from our backyard to Africa, Europe, South and Central America, and Mexico. The fentanyl is brought into major transshipment points such as Houston, DEA Houston Assistant Special Agent in charge Lee Nash said. They're staged here for distribution throughout the nation. Fentanyl overdose is the leading cause of death for Americans between 18 and 45 years old. The majority of the fentanyl seized by the DEA, which shows up on our streets and in our homes and schools, comes from a single group just south of the border, the Jalisco Cartel. They employ some of their own operatives to distribute the narcotics here in the Houston area, Nash said. They employ local street gangs to assist with the distribution and protection to ensure that their drug routes and stash houses remain safe and obscure from law enforcement. In a recent U.S. federal crackdown on Jalisco Cartel associates, 750 were arrested, and a third of them were in Houston, according to the DEA. 2 Jalisco Cartel associates were also convicted in November for their role in a Houston kidnapping. Our goal is always to take them farther, Zarro said. If we can get to the top echelon, the head of the snake, as we like to call it, we will go after them. The elite, Houston-based team is working to make Houston streets safer, one case, one massive shipment of deadly narcotics, and one transnational criminal network leader at a time. Wilver Villegas Palomino has been a high-ranking member of the Ejército de Liberación Nacional, ELN National Liberation Army, in Colombia since approximately 2000 as the chief of drug trafficking for the ELN Northeastern War Front, ELN-NEWF. Villegas is also the commander of the Magdalene area of the ELN-NEWF and oversees and approves all drug trafficking in his area of control. Villegas Palomino utilizes proceeds from drug trafficking to carry out ELN-NEWF terrorist and political activities by channeling drug trafficking proceeds to the ELN Central Command in Venezuela. Villegas Palomino and his subordinate ELN fronts and hamlets are responsible for a variety of assignments, including overseeing the production and collection of coca-base paste and clandestine production in laboratories in the Catatumbo region of Colombia and Venezuela. Villegas Palomino was charged on February 12, 2020, in a Southern District of Texas federal indictment with narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import cocaine, and international cocaine distribution, all in violation of Title 21 U.S.C. 960A, 963, 959A. According to the indictment, Villegas Palomino and his co-defendants were involved in an ongoing 20-year conspiracy to distribute cocaine from Colombia to the United States, knowing or intending to provide pecuniary support to the ELN. Name: Wilver Villegas Palomino. Aliases: Carlos El Puerco. DOB: October 21, 1981. POB: Curumani, Colombia. Nationality: Colombian. Citizenship: Colombian. Height: 5 feet 7 inches. Weight: unknown. Hair color: brown. Eye color: brown. Scars, tattoos, or marks: unknown. The U.S. Department of State is offering a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to the arrest and/or conviction of Wilver Villegas Palomino, aka Carlos El Puerco. Villegas Palomino is also a most wanted fugitive of the Colombian Department of Norte de Santander, with an additional reward offer of 50 million Colombian pesos. If you have information and are located outside of the United States, please contact the nearest U.S. Embassy or consulate. If in the United States, please contact the local Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, or Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, office in your city. All identities are kept strictly confidential. Government officials and employees are not eligible for rewards. Tips: contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at https://tips.fbi.gov.
July 12, 2024. FBI offering up to $250,000 reward for top 10 most wanted fugitive. The FBI is asking for help locating one of its top 10 most wanted fugitives, and he may be in Tampa. Donald Eugene Fields II has been running from the law since 2022. He was indicted in December 2022 on one count of child sex trafficking. Worst case scenario, it's a nightmare. Sub J. Greenberg, the FBI special agent in charge of the St. Louis field office. Fields' co-defendant, Theodore Ted John Sartori Sr. was indicted on the same charge. Sartori pleaded not guilty in December 2022 and is awaiting trial. The indictment accuses both men of knowingly attempting to recruit, entice, provide, patronize, and solicit a minor into engaging in a commercial sex act from about January 2013 until June 2017. In a December 2022 court hearing, Assistant U.S. Attorney Diana Collins said Sartori provided cash, cars, motorcycles, vacations, and Christmas presents to Fields II in exchange for access to the victim. Fields is also facing charges including statutory rape, statutory sodomy, child molestation, and witness tampering in Franklin County Circuit Court. A state warrant for his arrest was issued by the court after Fields vacated his home and failed to show up for a March 3, 2022, hearing, court records show. Rachel Foster, who founded the anti-trafficking organization, World Without Exploitation. She called Fields a predator, dangerous to anyone who may encounter him in the Tampa area. We know when there's one victim, there are more victims. They really do not look to just exploit one person, but they look for those who are at risk. And everybody who is vulnerable in that way is potentially prey to somebody like him, said Foster. She said having Fields on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list brings visibility and accountability, which can help empower other survivors. It's so important that victims, especially see that men like this, are held accountable and do not have impunity for the harms they cause, said Foster. Fields II has a scar on his chest, his groin, his left calf, on both legs and both knees. He also has a tribal print tattoo on his right shoulder. According to officials, Fields was known to travel to Florida and may be hiding in Tampa. Officials say he may be relying on cash jobs such as tree trimming and is known to frequent casinos. If you're in a casino, you don't have to gamble to have a potentially really good payday. You call the tip into 1-800-CALL-FBI. We'll be happy to show up with a checkbook after he's in custody, said Greenberg. He may also be hiding in central Missouri, a few hours' drive from where he used to reside in Franklin County, Missouri. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact the FBI online at tipsfbi.gov or call 1-800-225-5325. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000. A conviction is not required for this reward.
FBI top 10 fugitive Alejandro Castillo is on the run for allegedly killing ex-girlfriend. Authorities say the suspect and victim previously dated and both worked together at a Charlotte, NC restaurant. On August 10, 2016, 23-year-old truck Kwan Sandy Liley went missing from Charlotte, NC. 1 week later, investigators say Liley's body was found in a county not far from where she went missing, and she was shot 2 times. The investigation led authorities to 2 suspects, Alejandro Castillo and Amy Feaster. At the time of the murder, Castillo and Feaster were a couple, but agents say Castillo was previously dating the victim. After the killing, investigators say the couple fled the area, but 2 months later Feaster eventually turned herself into police. As for Castillo, who was only 17 years old at the time of the murder, he is still on the run and is now an FBI top 10 most wanted. Castillo is considered armed and dangerous. D.O.B., November 16, 1998. Weight: 185 pounds. Height: 5 feet 6 inches. Location of crime: Charlotte, NC. Hair: black. Eyes: brown. Aliases: Alexandro Castillo, Alex Castillo, Alejandro Rosales, Alejandro Castillo, Alejandro Rosales Castillo, Alejandro Rosales Castillo. Characteristics: could be wearing his hair on the shorter side and shaved sideburns. Known to speak Spanish and English. Possible locations: Charlotte, NC. Phoenix, AZ. San Francisco de los Romo. Aguascalientes, Mexico, or Pabellón de Arteaga. Aguascalientes, Mexico. He also may have traveled to the Mexican states of Guanajuato or Veracruz.
Equality before the law, also known as equality under the law. Equality in the eyes of the law, legal equality, or legal egalitarianism, is the principle that all people must be equally protected by the law. The rule of law is a political ideal that all citizens and institutions within a country, state, or community are accountable to the same laws, including lawmakers and leaders. It is sometimes stated simply as no one is above the law.